This is it. This is the final one. The finale. The biggest game. Our biggest game of the season. Here we go. Manchester United or Manchester City versus Manchester United, because we're the away team at Wembley on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. FA Cup final. My goodness. This is going to be a finale for the ages, you know. It could go many ways. Obviously, we could absolutely get thrashed. It could be the most nerve-wracking, nail-biting game of the whole season for us. It could just be a surprise that we absolutely, steamroller City. Probably unlikely, but let's preview it. Let's talk about it. Let's see, what is being spoken about at the moment. How are both teams looking? How are we looking? How are City looking? And who's gonna win this? I'll give you my predictions as always. I'll give you my score prediction, my predicted lineup, give a bit of a background, but also drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, because this, like I said, is the season finale of the 2022-2023 season. This is our curtain call, or I don't know, final curtain. I don't know what they call it. You get the point anyway. So, it's the last game for people like Weghorst. Hopefully he doesn't even play. I mean, it'd be lovely for him to come on and score a winner, fairy tale ending. It's the last game for obviously people like Sabitzer, who has gotten us here. Obviously, once again, he's not playing because he's injured. Maybe the last game for Maguire. Hopefully the last game for Maguire. He might get, who knows, if we're winning 1-0 in the last 10 minutes, maybe Ten Hag will bring Maguire on to see it out. Who knows? But this is the first ever major final between City and United. The first Manchester derby. Not just in the FA Cup, in any final. We've never faced them in a final before. So it just shows you how crazy, how crazy it is that we're both in this final, but how mad the atmosphere is due to be. I can't even wait for it. I'm gonna be at the game live and direct. I'll be doing a vlog, similar to my last vlog, for the FA Cup semi-final and the Carabao Cup final. So obviously I'm gonna be super nervous. Obviously I'm really dying to win this game, but like I said, it's the first time ever. City are on course, obviously, to win the treble. We're on course to win our first ever, which is crazy, right? Our first ever domestic cup double in the same season. We've never won both the League Cup and the FA Cup in the same season. So let's go ahead and do it. Let's make our own piece of history. Let's start Ten Hag's era brightly with a League Cup win and an FA Cup win and a top 3 finish in his first season as manager. Let's start the Ten Hag era. This is what we're trying to do here with this win. Go there, beat City, and start the Ten Hag era. Ready for it. And, we're not, obviously, we're not favourites. That's for sure. I think if you were to look at all the odds and all, the predictions from everybody else, we are probably going to be the major underdogs. But we can do it. Obviously, we can do it. We're Manchester United. Let's go there with nothing to lose. Well, we've got a lot to lose actually, because they could win the treble. But let's just go there and impose ourselves and win the game. How did we get here though? I want to kind of cover how we got here in terms of the teams we faced. We actually had in the third, fourth, fifth, and quarterfinal and semi-final. Actually, not semi-final. Sorry, scrap that one. Third, fourth, fifth, quarterfinal. We played at home and we won all of those games. Third, fourth, fifth, quarterfinal, 4 games. 3-1, we beat, who was first? Who did we beat first? We beat Everton 3-1, we beat Reading 3-1, we beat West Ham 3-1, and we beat Fulham 3-1. And then obviously semi-final against Brighton. Once again, you can watch the vlog on that. Amazing game, 0-0 obviously, but lovely finish with the penalties. Lindelof. Since then, actually, Lindelof has been absolutely unreal. And hopefully, we'll get into the predicted lineup in a moment, but hopefully he keeps his spot in the lineup and he does amazing again. But going back, starting with that Everton game, if you recall, De Gea had that era where he was standing next to the post and the ball went through his legs. And but then obviously we've got Anthony goal. We had Rashford, who was sublime that game. And I've just kind of got it here so that I can just go through it properly. But the fourth round against Reading, once again at home, we won 3-1. Casemiro goals, 2 Casemiro goals and 1 Anthony goal. 1 Anthony assist. And then Fred, I think, got a I didn't write it down, but Fred got the flick, and that was when Eriksen got injured because of Andy Carroll's ridiculous tackles. But also looking back at that game, and looking back at Anthony, like I already mentioned, I think he scored in the first goal, in the third round, and he got the assist for the Casemiro's first goal, which is a great assist as well. Just to kind of segue, it's really annoying me that everybody keeps putting Anthony in their team of the season flops or flop of the season, whatever. He has not had a flop season. He's been amazing this season, in my opinion. In terms of maybe not amazing, but he's for his first season as a 21-year-old or 23-year-old. I can't remember how old he is now. I think he's 21, and he's come from a different league, first time in the Premier League. You know, first season as a United player, he's done decent. He's had a decent season. He's definitely not been a flop. So it's really annoying when I see people putting him in, flop of the season, flop of the. There's so many other players that have been much worse than Anthony in his first season. So let's get that out of the way first. Anyway, 5th round, we faced Fulham and we beat them 3-1 again. Garnacho, sublime. I think he got the second goal. He ball fell out to him and he did his right foot curler. And Fred again, another goal from Fred. And then finally, in the quarterfinals, finally, it was the crazy game, another 3-1, or the final 3-1, where we beat Fulham. And obviously, Mitrovic got himself sent off. Willian got sent off for the handball. And Bruno got 2 goals, I believe. I can't remember who got Sabitzer's first goal as well in that game. So, lovely game, lovely route into the semi-final, where we then beat Brighton, like I mentioned already, on penalties, 6-7. With a Lindelof lovely finish. So here we are in the final, and it's gonna be a nervous one. It's gonna be a deadly day, as they say. We're hopefully gonna bury City's treble, hopes. They can go off and win the Champions League if they want. I still don't want them to win that, obviously, but we're gonna bury their hopes. We're gonna win our second trophy of the season. But what team is Ten Hag going to select? Because first of all, Martial is out injured. Now, I love Martial, I really do. Maybe I've come across that I don't really like him or something, but I really, really like Martial, and I have done since he's joined the team. But this season, it's just so sad that he's not going to be available. Obviously, this is not his fault in the slightest. This is completely unlucky. And injuries, as they say, is a part of the game. But it's just a shame. It's just such a shame that he's not going to be able to make it for the FA Cup final. And one of the reasons I'm saying that is because I really do not want to see Weghorst. I do not want to see him. I think what Ten Hag's probably going to have to do is play Rashford up top. Maybe he's going to go for Bruno on the right-hand side. But I would like to see Sancho on the right because he's done well so far. I don't really think Garnacho, we played last game, final game of the season against Fulham. And I don't think starting is his bag yet. I don't think he can really do that starting thing yet. I think he's so effective when he comes off the bench, 20-30 minutes to go, and he can affect the game and he can, drive and be direct and, face really tired fullbacks at that point. When he starts the game, he doesn't affect it as much. So I wouldn't really want to see him starting, but then what else do we have? Unless Ten Hag is doing some fancy thing where he's going, like I said, Bruno on the right, maybe Rashford on the left, Sancho on the left and Rashford up top, then I don't really see what he's going to do here. Also, going further back, Shaw, is he going to play Shaw as the left back or is he going to play him as the left centre back? Now, I mentioned already that Lindelof has been so good in the last few games. Do we now take him out and play Shaw? I think Shaw's more progressive, Shaw's more aggressive in that position, and obviously he's got more pace, etc. But I think Shaw as a left back is exceptional. So I think Lindelof has covered himself in glory enough to be able to continue playing in that role, and I would probably start him. So let's start. Let's look at. For me, let's look at let's start from the back, and I'll work my way forward and see what I've decided for that front line. So De Gea and goal, obviously. De Gea, please have a good game. Don't do any mess ups. Don't have a mistake. Don't do anything silly. Your distribution has to be on point. De Gea and goal. Then centre back pairing. I think I would keep Lindelof in. It's scary because of the fact that City are so good. Haaland's so good. They've got such a, not even just Haaland. De Bruyne. You've got probably Mahrez maybe starting. Foden, Grealish if he's fit. Bernardo Silva, all these players that can get in between our centre backs, but mainly Haaland, obviously. But I'd say centre back pairing of Lindelof and Varane, and then we've got obviously Luke Shaw on the left and Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right hand side. Obviously, we could do the thing where we put Luke Shaw as a left centre back, play Dalot on the left, Wan-Bissaka right hand side. We've done that before to good effect. But I think keep the back line, the back five the way it is. They've played together really consistently, really actually over the past 8, 9, 10 games. So let's keep that same. Now midfield, another situation where he could change things. You know, Eriksen maybe with Casemiro, with Bruno, maybe pack the midfield, put Eriksen, Casemiro, and McTominay. Then play Eriksen, Fred, and Casemiro, and then play Bruno on the right hand side or something. Who knows? But I think, and like I said, this starting level could be completely incorrect. I think we go Casemiro 100%, obviously. Fred, because he can do a job on like a De Bruyne, and play Bruno in his best position in the midfield. And then that means the front line has to be, which I don't think he's going to do, because like I said, I don't really like Garnacho from the start, but maybe he can do something for me. Garnacho on the left, Sancho on the right because he's been doing so well. Like I said, Bruno obviously in the number 10, and then Rashford up top. That would be my predicted lineup, but like I said, I think that's probably wrong, to be honest, because I can't see Garnacho starting, and I can't see. So I see Ten Hag probably doing something where he puts Bruno on the right, maybe puts an extra midfielder in there, let's say a Fred and McTominay, or Fred and Eriksen with Casemiro, and then he has Rashford, so Sancho on the left and Rashford up top. Don't know if that even makes sense, but I think that's probably what he's going to want to do, because we want to pack that midfield, because City are so good in the midfield, and you know their fullbacks come into the midfield. Shaw and Wan-Bissaka will have to do the same for us, but it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a very tough game. And the reason being, City are so good. You know, City are obviously, like I said, looking to win the treble. They're looking to beat us here, then go on and beat Inter Milan on June the 10th, whatever it is, to win the Champions League, and then have the treble sorted and be only the second team in the Premier League, obviously behind Manchester United, to have ever won the treble. Now, I think we can stop them. I hope we can stop them. But looking at their record, right, they haven't conceded in the FA Cup. They haven't conceded a single goal. They've beaten Chelsea, Arsenal, Bristol, I think, Burnley, and Sheffield United, all to nil. You know, I think even in the Burnley game they won 6-0. They've been absolutely, and they beat Sheffield United 3-0 in the semi-final, I believe. So they've been absolutely unreal. They've scored the most goals in the FA Cup, 17 goals. You know, this is why they're favourites. You know, all roads lead to City winning this game. Haaland has scored 52 goals in all competitions. This is what we want, right? We want a striker that will come in and score, you know, as well as Rashford getting his 31, I think he's still on 30 goals this season, in a season. We also want our main number 9 to be able to come in and score, 52 goals would be unreal, but at least 30, 40 goals, that'd be amazing. That's why we want a Kane. Obviously Martial's been injured all season, so we haven't most seasons, so we haven't had that. But I actually think we should keep. I would love to keep Martial, and him to have a good season next season, but as a backup striker, because we need a Harry Kane, we need all these top strikers. But anyway, in terms of, we're talking about City, right? They look good, and you'd expect them to really come here and show, you know, they've won the Premier League, show championship form or champion winning form, whatever. However, like I said, I'm a United fan. Come on, and I hope we can beat these guys. And I think we can beat these guys. So my prediction is United win. But in terms of scoreline, it could be a 2-1. I don't really know. It'll be like, you know, that's how we beat them at Old Trafford earlier in the season, a 2-1. But it could be a score draw, 1-1, 2-2, and then it could go tense. It could go really tense. Get them into penalties. And De Gea, can you save another penalty like you did the other day? Can you do it? I'd prefer 2-1. Nice, easy win. Weghorst winner. Can you imagine? Anyway, that's my prediction. That's my preview for this game. Like I said, I will be there. I will be bringing you a vlog similar to the other two that I've done this season. So let's see if we can beat it. If it can be a good vlog in terms of a happy, you know, crazy vlog for me to record. Let me know what your thoughts are on this game. Let me know if you think United can beat City. Can we? Let me know if you think, you know, what your starting lineups might be, actually, because it's a bit of a weird one, I think, for this one. And the game kicks off at 3 o'clock on Saturday. See you there. Thanks for watching the video. Drop a like on the video, and see you on the next one after we have beaten City and won our second trophy of the Ten Hag era. Come on!